venturing through Odori Park and being able to gaze at the incredible stages that feature intricately designed sculptures and captivating performances is something you have to experience during the annual Sapporo Yuki Matsuri. During the evening, all of the main stages feature 3D projection mapping that wow audiences young and old. An integral part of the Odori Park experience is the International Ice Sculpture Competition, which started in 1974 and has grown every year. As we covered the Snow Festival over the last couple of years, we got to meet Hawaii's own award-winning ice sculpture team. All three members of Team Hawaii are celebrated chefs, and team leader Dale Radomski is also a stuntman who's worked on countless movies and television shows. I spent some time with Team Hawaii both here in Hokkaido and back home to learn more about these three ice carving pioneers.
Hi, I'm Chef Dale Radomski from the Royal Hawaiian Hotel. I'm one of the ice sculptors here, and I do as well as styrofoam, fruit, vegetable, chocolate, and I'm also a stuntman.
Hi, my name is Norimitsu Wadagu. I come from Hiroshima, Japan. I work in the Royal Hawaiian more than 10 years already. So,
big shout out, there's a third member.
Charlie Matsuda, he's from the island of Kauai. He's one of our big designers for the project.
From culinary arts, how do you transition into sculpting in the middle of Hokkaido during the winter?
Well, it all started for Team Hawaii 18 years ago when they were approached by the Visitors Bureau. Hey, they have this competition in Japan, would you guys like to come up? So that team started, three members from Kauai, and then they called me from Honolulu, so they needed another guy. So Sheraton, at that time, it was Sheraton ITD, said, hey Dale, you want to go up to Hokkaido? I said, sure. Coming from Ohio, so I'm used to the snow and everything. But then when I got there, with this task that you have to get this enormous 3.5 meter by 3.5 meter block of ice and snow to a sculpture in 4.5 days, I said, what am I doing here? And one more thing, it's by an invitation only. You cannot just go and compete. The city of Sapporo is saying, okay, we're bringing these teams up because we know that they're going to make beautiful sculptures, but it's also going to be completed. Some of the teams never did that, and they never got invited back. So they're saying these are the top teams in the world. And this year is going to be tough because there's 11 teams and it's the top guys that are going to be there. So it's going to be a fierce competition.
We obviously live in what most folks consider on the world paradise, and probably the worst climate possible for ice and snow. So how do you practice, or how do you do what you do when you land in Sapporo?
Okay, this is how it all starts, Paulie. From the mind to the paper. On paper, I draw it out and say, okay, how is this going to look? Okay, and then when it's on paper, it's 2D.
Okay,
I got to make this from 2D to 3D now.
Right.
So again, the first process is from here, and then what we do is I cut foam.
Okay, so that's right here. This represents the ice, right?
The ice, right? It's that big. Remember, 3.5 meter by 3.5 meter. So that eventually has to come to that. So it's huge. We look at it, you're looking like this. Let's put it this way. These sculptures I do at the hotel I can stand on here. Over there, we're on scaffolding. That's how big it is. Okay. Now this competition isn't like ice carving competition where you use chainsaws and electrical. This is all hand.
So you chisel away at it? You
chisel away, and we use bob wire.
Oh.
And we make our own tools to cut everything. It's not regular electric Nikita saws or anything. So it's harder. It's a lot harder. And then, and that's a huge block. So then I said, okay, the first day we got to do the plates. Okay. So I have to measure out, okay, this plate is going to be 10 feet by 3 feet thick. This plate is going to be 2 feet by 8 feet. And then you got to think of this. We got to get in there and carve. So how are we going to get in there? Because I got to make a little leeway. So you have to figure all that up from looking down on it.
Wow.
So you have to look at each area and how big it's going to be. What is your focal point? What are you featuring?
Right.
And then on the third day, you should have pretty much your sculpture done. The lights hit it. They just shine. I mean, they really sparkle the snow. So I was looking at this sculpture when I finished it, and I shined a light in the back, and you see the silhouettes of the sharks. You see the silhouette of the surfer. The judging is the 5th day.
Folks, we're
here at the 2019 Yuki Matsuri in the middle of Odori Park, and Hawaii is well represented here. The Team Hawaii who built this incredible sculpture. Now, we followed the journey from a few years ago, and we actually caught up with you folks at the Royal Hawaiian.
Right.
So you talked us through the process. Now, guys, I gotta say, this is absolutely beautiful, and I have no idea how you carve holes in ice that actually stay and the structure is there. So like, tell me some of the challenges, tell me some of the the things you have to do to get this the way it looks right now. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, well, when they see Hawaii, it's like, we always get that question, how do you practice? How do you practice? So we tell them, we're ice carvers. This is just a bigger block, a bigger stage.
Much bigger block. In much tougher environments, I might add.
Yeah, well, first of all, when we first arrived here, the weather seemed pretty good until the next day. Then we start getting that wet snow, and that's dangerous because it makes it slush, and you cannot draw on it because the paint will just melt down, and that's pretty much what we trace out and cut out. But to drill holes through that, we have to test it to make sure that it's solid. Some of it was powdered, and if you cut through too much, collapses.
Charlie, tell me about how was it this year?
Well, it was really, a little bit difficult. The designs are getting harder. Dale, we have to communicate. Me being from Hawaii, constantly calling him about the design.
Gotcha.
And going over it. But the weather, like he said, was a little slushy because of the rain. And it's tough every year.
Well, I got to tell you that the folks in Hawaii are like so proud of you guys. This design is something that was inspired. How does it feel to be in Hokkaido? And you guys have like fan clubs here in Hokkaido.
Oh, it's great. Everything. The people over here, they have their own kind of aloha here.
You do?
And they're very welcoming, and it's great always, every year to come here.
Yeah.
北海道はもう人優しいですね。Kindness.
すごい。
People are kindness ね。And food is awesome. Food is awesome.
Guys, again, fantastic sculpture here. The complexity in this thing, I still don't know how you do it every year. I don't know, it gets like harder and harder every year. But again, congratulations, and we'll see you guys here at the 2020 Yuki Matsuri.
Be a good year.
Okay, guys, take care and aloha.
Aloha.
Team Hawaii here in Odori Park.
The non-stop adventurers and I continue to walk through Odori Park to view each of the various types of stages and entertainment. One of the main highlights is the ski jump exhibition that features some incredible ski and snowboard pros of all ages that put on a great performance for the onlookers below. We eventually worked our way to Sapporo Television Tower, one of the key landmarks in Sapporo City. The base of the tower features a skating rink, an array of lights, and after a few last-minute pictures, it was dinner time.
See, that's all mine right there. I ordered 4 steaks, and this is the end of day 1, our first full day here in Hokkaido. Suruga in the Akaringa Terrace building. This is like a buffet. The thing I like about it is that every dish that they serve here, they kind of cook it in minimal quantities. That way, everything is fresh. So as you go through, you're gonna get good, fresh food. Of course, there's steak here. And my favorite thing is there's a build your own pizza station there. However many types of meat or shrimp, or if you want like a mountain of cheese, put it on there. They'll bake it in their oven, bring it out to your table, and again, it's all you can eat. It's, I believe it's 90 minutes to 2 hours on Tabehodai here in Akaringa Terrace, Sapporo, ending day 1 with great food, of course with great people, and again, part of a non-stop travel, Doko Ga TV, Japan Mania, Yuki Matsuri 2019 adventure. Tabimashou.